What up, people? It's your boy Master Chudy out here with another comic review, and this time we're gonna go over the next issue of X-Men Gold, requested by Underground Geek. Yeah, so I Polo Dark Water. He kind of asked first, and I was hoping for more comments, but it's between y'all two. First, I was gonna flip a coin, but hey, I do have Flash coming up as the next review. So, first of all, let's get to this. The cover, I think is pretty, basic villain. You see Omega Red with his tentacles out, making the Omega sign. So I think him, it's really a cover devoted to him, and he looks pretty sinister right here as well. So that's pretty good. I thought the issue itself was a step above the last issue, which was mundane politics and soap opera romance, but this one seems to get back to formula a bit. So let's get into it. So we find out that the congressional bill to prevent mutants from coming in the country was introduced and is going to be enacted, basically. So they kind of failed, or Kitty and Colossus kind of failed on that part. But at the end of last issue, we see that Omega Red was resurrected. So we get here, we see somebody running in Balishka, Russia. So she's running. She falls, and she's saying "niet, niet, niet," which I at least know means no. And then she gets stabbed, and we see a horrible shot of her getting stabbed in the neck with Omega Red's tentacles, and we hear him say "da," as in yes. So we see Omega Red absorbing her life force, basically killing her. And we see this guy, one Russian, say, "How do you feel, my friend?" And he's saying, "Better for the moment, but not for long. Our resurrection is only temporary." And he's saying, "Yes, we know this, but the wheels are in motion, and once we have complete control of Russia, people will tremble at the name of Omega Red." Meanwhile, we get back to the Xavier Institute for Mutant Education and Outreach. Once again, I've said it, I don't like this name. I've always preferred the Xavier Institute for Gifted Children. I don't know, it just makes it sound more like a school, but that's just me. So we get into a shot of the X-Men. They're just chilling. It's a nice team dynamic. You got them just basically chilling. Everybody's just playing poker. You got Nightwing. Got Nightwing. Got Rogue over here. You got Logan. I want to say that's I think she's later to be revealed to be Colossus's little sister, Ilana. I don't know who this is at the moment. And Kurt's basically saying "Oh, got a full house." Logan's like, "Up, I got all aces, bub." And he's won all of these, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm at the best at what I do." And Kitty's saying, "Yeah, because of your heightened senses." And he's like, "Yeah, it helps." So we hear they're bringing in dinner. Everybody's calling him out, and we see them sharing a moment. Kitty and Peter again, and you see Logan just looking at him and they're like, "What?" Ilana also looking at them, and they're both like, "Nothing." So, basically just some more romance here and there. But apparently, Colossus gets a call, and we get we get a little bit of a humorous thing, and we see Colossus saying, "Are you sure, Blindfold? We almost never get calls on the landline." And she says, "Except from telemarketers. If you ask me, those are the kind of bad guys the X-Men should be going after." And of course, it's funny. Who doesn't love to hate telemarketers? Then we get back and we see that Peter's on the phone, and he asks, "Who is this?" And the man reveals himself to be Anatoly Rasputin, who reveals himself to be his father's biological brother. And Peter says that this is a lie because my father never had a brother. And he explains that your father wanted me to keep you a secret because I was dead to him. And he's saying we never spoke since. And apparently, Colossus' father has passed away. He mentions that he's been keeping up with Peter's exploits in America, and he's saying that he's very proud of the family. And Colossus asks, "Why are you reaching to me now?" And he basically tells him that there's a great danger in Russia, and that you're needed back at home, that a very dangerous man has returned to life, and he mentions that his name is Arkady Rosovich. Then we get to the X-Jet, but you know him as most know him as Omega Red, and then Old Man Logan's like, I hate this guy. And he's not looking pretty old. He's looking pretty, middle age, like somebody just touched his hair up with a lot of gray. So meanwhile, we basically see that Kitty saying that I've never had the pleasure. What can you tell us? So basically, Wolverine gives a spiel about that he killed Omega Red, that he was a serial killer that the government tried to execute for his crimes, but that the Russian government decided to put him in their own super soldier project. And then he basically explaining his powers, that he's got a healing factor, a mutant power that allows him to act as a vampire, stealing people's life force. And he's like, basically gives us a bottom line: Omega Red is a one-man global terrorist crime organization. With everything facing Russia these days, Roosevelt's return just might push him over the brink. And that's assuming we can believe what he said. Basically talking about the man claiming to be Colossus's uncle. And we see which part. It's like the part about bringing Roosevelt back to life, or the part about being our uncle. And Colossus is like, I know you have reason to be skeptical, but he said, but I do remember as a little boy that our father mentioned something of a brother, but he never really spoke about it. And he's saying like, look, our family's dead. And he's like, criminal or not, like, this Anatoly is the last of our family. And, we have to at least find out who he is. And so Nightcrawler mentions like they've landed in space, and it's landed in Russian airspace, and they're engaging in the cloak. So they're in Russia in an abandoned Soviet rail yard, basically at a location that Mr. Rasputin, specified. And they're just walking through. You've got everybody in place. The art is okay. Basically. And we get a little nice banter between Logan and Shadowcat, which is like how back in the old days of like a master and an apprentice. And we see that, and I trust Peter, basically saying that, she trusts Peter to do what he has to do for the mission. And we see Logan say, yeah, I clocked a lot of trusting going on between you and him at the mansion. And he's like, Logan? And Wolverine's like, just saying. That little jaunt you guys took to DC must have been some trip. And then she's like, all teams reported before I die of embarrassment. So that was also a bit funny right there. So we see a pretty good shot of Storm, looking from the skies. I like it. This seems to be more of like the X-Men Storm that we all know and love. But, she's from the skies. We see Rachel Gray, Prestige, checking in. We see Nightcrawler also checking in. So we finally see Mr. Rasputin come in. And, he's happy to see his family here. And he's like, Peter, you've grown. He's like, you were a little boy. And then he's like, this must be my niece. Like, you should be a tiny girl. And it's a long story. Pretty much, I believe the story I remember is that when I was in Nigeria, I do remember coming across like an Uncanny X-Men comic that was in the same, that came like right after the whole Dracula and Storm thing, where she was kidnapped as a little girl and she was taken to another realm by, I don't know whether it was a dark elf or something, I'm not sure. And she basically aged 10 years to become a teenager. And, she's still skeptical of him, and, he understands. He explains that your father wished that I remained apart from your family, pretty much like that. So she asks, how did Omega Red come back to life, and he mentions, like, magic, basically. So they engage into a ritual that Komalov, which is one of his partners, has a proficiency in the black arts. He's taught what he knows to his bratva, which is like the Russian mafia. It's like, and with our help, they brought Omega Red back from death. And she says, with your help? She's like, yes, Komalov is packing to defy Mr. Die horribly, but I knew I had to do something, which is why I called you. And he's like, where can we find Roosevelt? And he explains that Komalov's command of magics is meager. Roosevelt's resurrection has only proven to be temporary. So Omega Red's been keeping himself alive by draining life force, basically. And he's basically saying, but he can't keep that up, it's going to fail him, and he's vulnerable. So the plan is like, we have to strike Komolov quick, so we can end this. And then you see the Russian mafia with magic come in, which is interesting. And then we see Logan's like, now who's this? And he's like, Komolov's men. I told you to be careful. He's taught them, I know, magic. So I didn't know Alana had powers. I think she does, obviously being the brother of a mutant, but I wasn't too sure. So we see her get ready for battle, which is like a nice transformation. Whoop. Bam. Then we see that Wolverine is like, should have known this whole Stitch has smelled rotten from the jump. So he gets ready for battle, brings out his coat, like, damn, I hate being right all the flaming time. So basically that's like classic Logan. So he gets ready for battle, and then Shadowcat asks everybody from their positions to move in. And then Colossus looks at his uncle, saying, Uncle Anthony. And totally, he's like, I'm sorry, Peter. You must have followed me here. So we see Nightcrawler come in. Russian mobsters with magic. Whoever thought that was a good idea? So we just see him teleporting, beating up these guys, looking pretty good, badass for Nightcrawler, just teleporting and doing his thing. Then we see Storm come in from the sky, and she's like saying, magic or not, they're only mobsters, thugs. It's like, you see Rachel Gray using her telekinesis, like, your point, Aurora, only that, like any men, they're vulnerable to lightning, so she comes in with a powerful lightning strike. And so this is definitely Storm, and it's cool. It is cool. So after they take that on the opposition, we see Logan say nice, and Shadowcat's saying not nice. Where's Snowflake, which is Ilana? And then they search everywhere and they can't find him. So here's Aunt Holy right here, and we see Logan grab him. It's like, where's Ilana? And he's like, I don't know. They must have taken her. So they have taken Ilana. And then we see Dobro Poshalovat, Miss Rasputin. I've looked forward to meeting you. And then she speaks Russian. I'm not sure whether they speak Russian. And then he's like, in due time. But for the moment, I have need of you. Specifically of your magics. I misspoke just then. Although it will be my doing to be sure, it's not me who has need of your power. It is my friend, Arcady. So we get like a nice sinister end page right here. And we see, I guess to be continuing the next issue in Russian, which is, pretty clever. And then we get a cover of the next issue, X-Men Gold, which looks pretty nice. All of the X-Men are battling. So, this is a definitely better issue. Definitely a better issue than 9, which was Mundane politicking, and then that one offset appearance of Whiplash as to be the main antagonist. This seemed to go back to basics, go back to some classic X-Men adventures of, trying to find out about a villain, Omega Red's coming back. And, it was enjoyable. So, X-Men Gold is, can be good if it focuses on, a classic X-Men formula. When it focuses on the adventure, when it focuses on the action, when it focuses on the characters doing their thing, like Storm was well done here. I really like that. So was Nightcrawler. So, once again, I thank y'all for watching this video. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. I'd like to grow it, give you more content. Once again, comment below and tell me what you think of X-Men Gold. Did you like it? What are the flaws and everything like that? Once again, thank you for watching, and I do these videos and content for you, the people, because I wish to give my views out to you and hear back from y'all. Once again, thank you for your time. And, oh, by the way, I've got also more comics I plan on reviewing. And this time we get into the DC, Teen Titans, and The Flash. These are both very good reads, and hopefully I'll get some reviews out later today, if not tomorrow. Thank y'all, and have a nice day.